Добрый день, дорогие коллеги, спасибо. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. The paper is devoted to an overview of metal objects R20. Excavation area in Olbia Pontica of last 4 years of concerning to classical, Roman, and Chernyakhov periods. The previously unexplored area in the southeastern part of the Olbia citadel, excavated from 2016 within the frame of the Ukrainian Polish project under the guidance of Dr. Kvartetsky and Professor Alla Buiskih. R23 site had proved the significant scientific results from the first years of its investigation. The section of area for research located prominently on the highest promontory of the Dnieper-Bug estuary on the height of 34 meters per sea level in the central part of the Roman citadel suggested that this territory could actively develop in antiquity as a location of great strategic importance for the city. Geophysical prospection of the area had revealed the presence of large architectural structures constituting a part of planned urban development. The socio-cultural and chronological section, reflecting the peculiarities of life in this territory in different historical periods, was the study of metal items from the R23 plot. Thus, in the first year of excavations, in 2016, was investigated the area of 100 square meters, the rugged terrain on a slope, the humus was removed and cleaned down a massive stone breakdown that stretched from west to an east with a total height varied from half to 1.5 meters from a day surface. It bores a humus and in a stone collapse together with other categories of the finds was revealed a high saturation of metal objects made of silver, bronze, iron, and lead, as well as silver and bronze coins, representing the main stages of urban and economic development in Olbia, focusing in particular on the Roman and late antique periods. The common quantity for 4 years constitutes more than 300 of objects, metal objects, the main part of which is presented by household items, knife blade parts, iron nails, bronze covering plates, spindles, weights, lead repair braces for ceramic vessels, other small finds. The other categories are militaria, including ammunition, objects of cars, and details of suit. In a report will be observed the sample of metal items representing the main chronological groups with the stratigraphy of finds. The objects of 2016 with the earliest dating are the bronze-socketed three-bladed arrowheads of the first half of 4th century BC from a humus layer, the lead bucranium of middle, the second half of the first quarter, middle of 3rd century BC, group formed by Zaitseva from a stone breakdown, and the peculiarities of an area location and the finds of redeposited votive metal objects of classical and Hellenistic attribution residal in the Roman and late antique layers are, of course, a tentative indication of function of occult structure in this area. The next chronological group dates by the Roman period and is represented by Roman singulum, military personal equipment, ship nails, camp and household items, including Roman provincial bronzeware, logs, medical instrument associated primarily with the deployment of a part of the Roman vexatio in this section of the Olbia citadel in the 2nd through the first half of the 3rd centuries AD. Thus, the Roman phase is characterized by extensive economic and building activities in this area of an upper city. In humus was found the Roman bronze Balteus Faldera, dated by the middle of the 2nd century AD by Jürgen Oldenstein, with the analogies from the Roman military fortresses Salzburg, Forts Feldberg and Straubing, and the same as from Nova in Northern Interior. The same in humus, the Roman provincial types of fibula, Roman plated rhomboid fibula type 7-4 by Emilia Richa of 30-75 of 1st century AD, with analogies from Magdalensberg, August, in stone collapse, an extremely related bronze fibula of the first half of the 2nd, the first half of the 3rd centuries AD, with same samples from Pannonia Superior and Dacia. The northern Black Sea region and south of Eastern Europe exemplars of both are fibula of the first half of 3rd centuries AD by Ambros and Kropotov. And in humus, found a bronze knife, massive round-shaped handle with a fragment of an iron blade. Numerous finds are the forked bronze nails of the 3rd centuries AD found in the humus layer, which, according to Michel Fougère, were used to fasten the lead plating of ships. They were revealed 2 kinds of them in 2016. The first with a smooth inner surface of the third type, 01, and the other with a convex radial ray and dotted ornaments on the inner side of the nail head, type 6 by typology of Michel Fougère, in his study concerning 2 metal finds from Roman naval camp of Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa Tragus. One fragment of massive bronze ship nail with a conical head was found in the infill of a stone collapse, refers to the type of Roman ship nails, also according to Michel Fougère. Objects indicating the metal production activities here in the era of antiquity are the revealed lead splashes, bronze and iron slags adhered to the walls of ceramic vessels, all found in the filling of a stone collapse. In 2017, 2 5-square-meter squares were added to the south of an excavation area. The next level of the remnants of a stone collapse was removed. The surface of the cultural layer of the late Roman time was opened, where the remains of a rectangular building with traces of rubble stone walls with a double circuit height in the southern part associated with Chernyakhov culture of construction, and the household pits were revealed. The highest degree of saturation with metal project, iron, bronze, lead, the Roman and Olbian coins were observed mainly during the excavation of a humus layer. It should be noted that while in the humus layer material was chronologically mixed, in the layer of stone breakdown, the dating of metal objects was predominantly of the Roman period. However, metal objects of earlier chronological periods were also presented. 2 objects from excavation 2017 have an early dating, a fragment of a bronze circuited 3-bladed arrow head of the 5th-4th centuries BC from a humus layer, a fragment of a votive cast lead lapis group 2 of the second half of the 4th-3rd centuries BC by Zaitseva, found in the layer of a stone breakdown. In 2017, 2 next items that can be attributed to the details of Roman military ammunition were found. By cleaning of the surface of excavation R23 at the beginning of the field season, in its northeastern part, a fragment of Roman military belt buckle in the opus intersil style was identified, which is the closest to the type of frame belt buckles dated by Joachim Oldenstein by 160 260 AD, with analogies from the Roman auxiliary castle Osterburgen, Funs, and Feimingen. In new excavation squares, a silver suspension Roman military belt fastener with a rivet that can be observed also as a sporon fastener was found, dating by the last quarter of the 2nd, the first half of the 3rd centuries AD. The parallels by form for the detail is the ammunition belt buckle from the excavations of the Roman castle Niederberg, the numerous foreign fasteners of the 2nd, 3rd centuries AD known on Roman Empire. Camps. 2 past bronze objects most likely can be attributed to the details of Roman bronze vessels of the 1st, 3rd centuries AD. The first fragmented object in the form of cast relief plate of subtriangle shape found in a humus layer finds parallels with flat cast hoods of various types and configuration fastened in the mount of 3 units to the bottoms of vessels, such as situla, jars, marks with the soldering. They belong to the number of finds found both during excavations of cities and urban necropolis of the Roman Empire, and finds from Roman military camps, for example, from the Roman castrum Vitera, Adin, etc. Fragment of a bronze cast object identified in the southeastern part of stone collapse is a fragment of a handle made in provincial Roman workshops. Cast handles with butt-shaped ends are known as details of Roman bronze vessels as furniture, boxes, casket handles of the 1st and 3rd centuries AD. For example, a handle from the Roman fort of handle fragments from the excavations of the Roman naval camp bridges. When cleaning the surface of the excavation, a bronze nail was found, according to Michel Fouger's typology, referred to the same as in previous year, to type 001 of Roman ship nails, dated by 1st, 3rd centuries AD. In 2017, 2 metal items from F23 excavations were identified as belonging to the details of suit of Chernyakhov culture. Ores originate from the layer of the lower level of in the northeastern part of stone rupture. These are the ornamented back of a bronze brooch of 4th century AD, related to the type of banked two-part brooches, with a garter leg with a believed back, and a massive bronze buckle with the remains of a movable clip plate of the last quarter of the 4th, the 1st third of the 5th century AD, and the final stage of the Chernyakhov culture. The same and the filling of the stone breakdown in 2017, 3 of iron slags were identified, indicating the metal production activities in this area in the antiquity. 2 of them were found sticking the walls of ceramic vessels. In 2018, the outliers of the basement of the stone collapse were removed. The daytime surface of the late antique time over a wide excavation area was revealed and explored, with a detailed study of the strata, architectural and household objects, buildings, pits, clay tempers of the period under consideration. Together with of an exploring of a building of a rectangular form with remains of a hearth in its south, the other object round in plan with dimensions 5.3 and 5.4 meters with oval-shaped form, hearths in its western part, and remains of 2 poles for stakes that can be identified with the semi-dig out of Chernyakhov cultures was identified and explored. Metal finds of year 2018 are dated by Roman and late antique period, by the 2nd, the 1st half of the 5th century AD. Under a stone collapse basement was also explored massive dropping of numerous animal bone remains, including bone objects made of a bone, possibly the remains of a local bone factory of late antique period. Several metal items of year 2018 can be assumed as belonging to the objects of the Chernyakhov culture. In the basement of a stone collapse was revealed a bronze tongue of a buckle with a bent end and a vertical cut of 2nd quarter of the 4th, the 1st half of the 5th century AD. In the pit number 3 in northeastern part of excavation area was found a T-shaped fragmented 2-part bronze brooch of 2070s of the 4th century AD. the same in the basement of a stone collapse, together with a Chernyakhov tomb of a buckle in square 211, an iron blade of rectangular shovel with 3 transverse fasteners in the groove for connecting to a wooden leaf was found. Other products are represented by fragments of iron rods, nails, the remains of metal production, pieces of an iron slag. In year 2021, 4.5 meter squares were added to the southern part of excavation area with an aim of the further exploring of late antique layer in a wide space. In its southeastern part was often first for Olbia the same on a wide space, a part of huge complex of building remains from a rubble stone that can be associated with areas of Chernyakhov culture, with several premises, amphora wall pavements, and material dated to the first third of the 5th century AD. The finds of an early chronology were revealed mainly in humus layer squares. Among them a bronze arrowhead of the 5th-4th century BC, a Roman bracelet of Roman period, a Roman provincial bronze log detail of 3rd centuries AD, a Roman provincial medical instrument, bronze spatula spoon probe, a part of bronze ornamented mirror of Roman provincial culture. In U squares in southern part of excavation area was discovered stone collapse and the same stretching from the west to east. In the top part of it was revealed a bronze buckle of Chernyakhov culture dated by the 2nd quarter of the 4th, the beginning of the 5th century AD. Investigations of R23 area and revealed metal items of different chronological groups are reflecting the peculiarities of life in this territory in a historical context. During the study of the upper strata and objects of the late antique time of the R23 site, for the first time for Olbia on a wide area, the study of the quarter building development was partly revealed and began to study the objects of stone construction, a detached building of a semi dig-out with remains of hearths, which can be correlated with the areas of the Chernyakhov culture. Among the ceramics and glass items, metal objects found in R23 plot are clear chronological markings fixing and confirming the existence and development of the Chernyakhov culture in Olbia in the last third of the 3rd, 4th centuries AD, highlighting the final stage of its existence as well as the life of the settlement, which ended in the first half of the 5th century AD.